I'm live. Woo! So grateful to be here. Oh my goodness, you guys. So grateful to be here. Grateful day. Welcome to the 40th episode of the Faith Forward Fearlessly podcast with your host, Jenée Hudson, the Uplifter. I empower former and transitioning professionals and entrepreneurs navigating the complex balances of life, commitments, and growth, guiding them to conquer overwhelm with unwavering integrity, authenticity, and perseverance, all anchored in faith. Time to show the t-shirt. All right. So today's t-shirt, probably can't read it, so I'm going to read it to you. So it says, don't judge what you don't understand. Mental health matters. That's what the shirt says today. And so this t-shirt today, it represents my personal trauma that I have experienced just throughout life and my journey for the most part, especially the don't judge what you don't understand part, because even during my transition here to Michigan, just seeing as I was born in Utah, raised overseas in England, in the UK, that's where I actually was raised. So Michigan for me was a culture shock, let me tell you. And it just unfortunately came with a lot of unfortunate judgments just because of that as well. So that's pretty much why I have on this shirt today. But you guys, so excited. Thank you for joining me. But today's episode is called From Trauma to Resilience. Perfect, right? So it's pretty much a story of healing and entrepreneurial growth. All right. Today, we'll be exploring just how life's toughest moments shake us to the core. But it can transform us, fuel our purpose, and ignite our path to success. So who doesn't need that, right? So know this, whether you're an entrepreneur, a dreamer, or just someone searching for that light that's in that dark time, today's episode is for you. So I am so excited that you're joining us today. We'll be unpacking the ideas of resilience and how trauma doesn't have to define us. That's very important. But it also actually can propel us, right? And help us to just have a future filled with strength, faith, and most importantly, purpose. Let me tell you guys, I'm so excited. Today, there is a very special guest, okay? But before I introduce her, I just want you to know, seeing as it's also the month of September, it seems to be Suicide Awareness Month as well. So a time when we reflect on deep struggles. People face just incredible resilience during these times, and it comes through faith. It comes through healing, and community, which is huge, right? So that puts us into a great transition for this episode. So excited. Let's get started. So, oh my goodness, today I am honored to introduce our esteemed guest, you guys, Monique Gomez. Let me tell you a little about this queen, you guys. She is a trauma and resilience life coach with a background as a mental health therapist, a Reiki master, wow, and licensed therapist, a massage therapist. Who don't like massages? I love them. So she believes that understanding and experiencing the body is essential to working with the nervous system, right? And emotions, memories, and experience are stored in just like a body brain connection. All right. And by addressing them through just like the whole body work, it is impossible to change the messages, right? That the actual like nervous system goes through and sends to the brain. So this approach that she's going to be discussing and things like that, it leads to healing, self-regulation, and just a lasting change. Who don't need that? We all do. I know I do. If you can relate, put relate in the chat. All right. So, oh my goodness, you guys, help me. Monique, just help me introduce her, welcome her in the chat here. Just know that she helps to break these cycles of self-doubt and unworthiness that we might be feeling, right? By bringing compassion to their just reactions and utilizing just this systematic and a narrative to therapies, you guys. I am so excited that she's here. Her focus goes beyond any hype of just like that self-care that we hear about, and just honoring it on like just what the body truly needs for the just authentic healing for the most part, right? Let's welcome her. Please join me welcoming Monique Gomez. Yes. Let's see. So excited. All right. Let's go.
Hello.
Welcome. I am so grateful that you're here.
Thank you, Jenée, for having me. Oh my God, that intro was fantastic. I feel like I should, have a band coming up here.
That is so great. You are such a blessing, and I am so glad that you're here. Everybody's welcoming you in the chat. So,
Thanks, guys.
yes.
Hello.
So, I know I've said so many wonderful things about you because you're such a blessing, but is there anything else, like tell people where they can just contact you really quick, and then we'll just pretty much get started.
Yes. So my IG page, I'm most active on Instagram. So it's my first and last name, Monique Gomez _ the coach. I dropped a comment in the chat. My my website is dtheal.org. I'll drop that in the chat too for you guys. Lots of fun goodies there for education, as well as just chatting with me. I love talking about the nervous system. So if you're down to do that, let's get on a call. The other thing is I do have my own podcast, Avoidance and Control Podcast. If you're on Spotify or Apple, you can find me there under Monique Gomez, Avoidance and Control.
All right. I love it. Hey, you guys, get at her. And I'm following her as well. So you can always go to my page and follow her too. So, all right. Well, let's get started. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So to guide us today with our discussion, here are some giftful questions. I call them gifts. So, and answers that I am eager to explore with our esteemed guest, Monique. All right. So, Monique, your journey has brought us from just working through trauma to becoming a life coach and an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
So, share how your healing process just like inspired you to start your business?
Yeah, so it's a long story. I like to go all the way back to when my healing journey started, which was actually the start of my grief journey. I lost my father unexpectedly 6 days before my 8th birthday. He overdosed on heroin. And so if anyone has, any family addictions, you know what that's like. And so it threw me into a place of really trying to understand my emotions. I started working with therapists and going into grief work. Around 6th grade, I had a school counselor make me cry in her office. And I walked out of that office that day saying, I want to do what she just did. I want to make people cry. And so I did that. My whole school journey was to become a counselor, and I achieved that. And then in high school, I got my license for massage therapy because I figured my brother said I was good at it, and he's like, "You should do this for a living, Monique." And so I said, "Why not? Why not have extra income as I'm trying to support my single mother, through my college funding, all of that?" And so I became a licensed massage therapist, and then 3 years later became a licensed master social worker, where I began working with children and families in grief, in trauma, in anxiety and depression, mostly, where I found that a lot of our nervous system was contributing to these behaviors that these children and families were experiencing. Not to mention also the parenting skills and lack thereof, right? Because no one teaches you how to regulate your body. There's no school course, there's no mom and dad, there's no caregiver who knows how to do these unless you're a counselor or therapist, right? And even then, you have no idea what kind of reactions your body's going to come up with when stuff hits the fan.
Yeah. So very true. Oh my God. So that is so great. Were you finished? I didn't want
Yeah, there's definitely more. Oh my God. It's such a long journey, Jenée. I'm just like,
I
oh, can it be over
get it.
already?
I get it. That is so wonderful. We are so grateful that you're doing what you do to just help others. I know I am for sure. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. That is different that to make people cry because it reminds me like of that talk show host. You know how you come on there and you're like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna do it. So
And it's how we express. And like I said, no one taught us how to do that. And so that was kind of my learning journey through my master program, master social work, right? The master's degree that I obtained in 2017. And then I'd always known I'd wanted to work for myself just because of seeing different agency work and how I just didn't like being bossed around, I think, right? Coming from a family with a single mother, right? She was the boss. And I like that. I like being the boss. And so that just kind of was always my plan to become an entrepreneur. And then once I got my associate license to do mental health therapy, I got all my hours and was going to launch my private practice, which I did prematurely. And with the state of Arizona, because of the type of license I had, they got wind that I was working with 5 clients and illegally, as they say. And so they slapped my hand, put my license on probation. And this was 2021, summer, fall-ish. And so my whole life changed at that point because I thought I was going to be going to private practice and do this for 30 years.
right.
And it ended up pivoting into something else. I had already had my massage business for about 5 years at that point in 2021. And so I was like, why don't I just stick with my income and become a coach? And the same time that I was looking for a job for mental health, I found a trauma and resilience life coaching certification with Arizona Trauma Institute. Wow. And I got to tell you, Jenée, that certification, 6 months of learning, changed my life. Everything that they were saying, everything they were teaching us, helped my own personal window of tolerance with the stressors that I was coming up against. And then it just was so holistic in nature that it helped me understand this is what I actually want to do, not label someone and call somebody, give stigma to someone who's already experiencing adversity, and work through tools where they don't feel safe and they're not safe and they're never going to be safe because they're displaced, because they're in poverty, because they're experiencing all these other systematic oppressions. It's not helping them. And so this new avenue that I've taken with the trauma coaching, I shorten it because it's so long, with the trauma coaching is really working with people's nervous systems. And like you said, the brain and body connection, which being a massage therapist for 14 years, girl, I saw it all.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So amazing. All right, let's get to gift number 2. All right. So many entrepreneurs face emotional challenges, especially when overcoming that past trauma. I can definitely say that. So how did you tap into your resilience and faith just to transform those different challenges into like fuel for growth?
Yeah. So there's a lot of components to my spiritual journey as well as the other skills that I use to maintain going on with this path. The first one was Reiki. So Reiki is universal life force energy. It's based in Japanese teachings where you call in a source energy. And from having my dad being taken away from me at a young age, me and God have kind of a love-hate relationship at that point in time, 2016 onward. And so I wasn't following the traditional church, right, model, the traditional religious sect. I was more spiritual at that point. And so having Reiki as an alternative way to communicate with God, higher self, my guides, right, because I had lost a lot of other people in my life, hence being so ingrained with grief and its teachings. I was able to connect to that spiritual level and really see everything I was building as gifts from God, as blessings, talents He's given me in order to heal the world. And it's literally thrusted me, Jenée, in the last 8 to 12 months, just really thanking Him every single day, along with the other mindset work that I do. So other mindset work is stuff like calling in abundance, being thankful for the characteristics I was given, right? Being confident, being educated, asking for help, right? And so really just kind of shifting all those negative beliefs that I grew up with. And, like you said, sticking with my faith and my belief that I was put on this earth for a reason, and I'm doing it every single day.
Yes. And you are definitely worthy of more. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that as well. All right. So if anybody's getting value, please put value in the chat. This is amazing knowledge and information from her. All right. Gift number 3. So your work emphasizes on that whole body brain connection, right? So how was reconnecting with your own body, how'd that help you just find clarity and confidence as an entrepreneur?
So beautiful. There's so many layers to this because it starts with getting connected with your body. And I've always been connected with my body, but with an aging body, I'm 33 now, so I'm not old by any means, but I definitely have the sensations of age, right? And then losing my grandparents, in the last couple of years, and things shifting in just family dynamics really changes your perspective on your body, your longevity, and how you want to walk in this world. So connecting to your body is always first. Lots of ways to do that. Body work is one of them. I make sure I get body work, whether it's massage, Reiki, anything of that sense, at least twice a month, and sometimes even 3 times a month when I'm just girl needs more loving. I get movement in every single day. And the way that I started this was just 2 years ago, started moving my body, and I attached it to my coffee habit. I still do, a habit addiction of drinking coffee every morning and making my coffee. And so I would make my coffee and then go roll out my mat. And whatever happened, whether it was body movement, body squats. And I was overweight at this point and I didn't feel good about my body, but I was still making intention to daily get my coffee, get on the mat, whether I'm stretching or doing movements or grabbing weights. I was doing that every single day, and that's helped facilitate into a habit of going to the gym 4 times a week, sometimes 5, because my body now craves that physical resilience of I can do more. I know my body is strong. I believe in myself, and I'm going to look really good, and I'm going to feel really good, and I'm going to show people that this is easy to do when you love yourself, when you trust that your body can hold heavy weight, when you trust your body can go from having coffee to going and rolling out your mat.
Yes, that is so wonderful. I can totally relate. And again, if you can relate in the chat, please put that. But when you talk about that body work, that's me. I'm actually in the process of losing 17 more pounds to get back to where I was, So, but it's just my walks every Monday through Friday on the track for an hour. And I incorporate some jog with that sometimes. I also do the sauna every other week just to let go and just all the impurities inside and out.
Love it.
As well as what do I do? Oh, compressions. So because I do my walks and things like that, my blood in my body and my legs, they need to just kind of move and always help, and especially my feet sometimes, you know what I
Yep,
mean? And
yep,
I like the bathroom dance. So I need that assistance ongoing.
yeah,
So I go get compressions where it's these like tubes of long, it's like a long, what is it? Tube type of thing, but
yeah.
it's not hollow. And it just zips
They're
up
like
on
sleeves,
both
right? It's
legs.
like a sleeve,
Squeeze.
big old sock. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I do that like, would I do that like every other week as well?
Wow.
Or no, I actually do that once a week
Yeah,
actually. So
yeah.
it is so helpful when it comes to that body work, and it squeezes from my toes all the way up to my thigh, and it helps that blood just circulate. And oh, I love it.
So good. Compression socks do the same things, ladies.
Yes,
I've got my compression socks
I
on
love
right
it because
now.
literally it goes in and out. Love it, love it. Thank you for that. Yep, I do have compression socks when I travel. So
Good.
sometimes I need that when I'm traveling as well. So my feet and stuff don't swell up and all of that. So it happens,
Yeah,
you know?
yep. Age. The body doesn't want to move, and we have to keep it moving. If you stop moving, you're dead, is what I keep telling my clients. And movement actually keeps the inner critic in your brain at bay. It lowers the volume on your inner critic, because the inner critic is just the history of those naysayers, the history that told you you're not good enough, the history that said, oh, you can't do that. Don't ask for a raise. Don't move your body. You don't deserve to lose 17 pounds. You don't deserve to lose 50 pounds. When you move your body, again, you come to the self-love of, I deserve this.
Yeah.
My body feels better. My brain feels better when I'm releasing all these things that don't serve me anymore.
Yes, that is wonderful because that's what I'm like, release the old, in with the new. So yes, love it. All right. All right, gift number 4. So as an entrepreneur, setbacks are just unavoidable, as we all know, right? So how do you stay grounded in faith and resilience when facing just like business challenges or even life challenges, especially in light of your own healing, that journey?
Yeah, no, I feel called to speak to when my license got put on probation, because I was in a deep depression at that point. Like I said, I thought, this was the career path I was going to go. I thought everything was going to work out for me, and it was a huge stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally was praying, begging to God to give me an answer. And it came in the form, obviously, of that certification that I mentioned. But before that, I had to write forgiveness letters to myself.
That's beautiful.
And coming from a Catholic background, the shame and guilt that comes with just that sect in its own ways and how they operate,
Mm-hmm.
really stops people from forgiving themselves, not
Mm-hmm.
just forgiving others. And you don't have to forgive people that hurt you. I know that, I believe that. But if you have a faith of any kind, you need to forgive yourself, because whatever higher power you believe in doesn't want you hating on yourself. Whatever higher power you believe in wants you to know that you have all the answers inside, and forgiving yourself is that first step to getting out of that mean ugliness, of that deep dark, as I like to call it,
Mm-hmm.
and into action, and into asking for help, and into looking for solutions, because they're out there.
Yes. Most definitely. I totally agree with you on that. The whole forgiveness part, well, for me, it is, I normally do forgive, but and there's so many things that were traumatic that I've forgiven. I haven't forgotten, I
Right.
am human. So, but I have forgiven, but you know what? I forgave because I wanted to be a better wife, daughter, sister, mother, and just person. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And I
Yep.
knew that by forgiving that person or that thing or whatever took place, that would just make me excel even more. You know what I mean? And it'll keep me true to myself of who I am and my true, genuine just integrity and just being authentic and stuff like that. So I always say that, you know what, by all means, I'm going to forgive them so that I don't like allow them to just kind of hold on to the power that they had when they hurt me or whatever that traumatic situation that took place was. So I'm always that, you know what, I forgive you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's just, it just helps, you
Yeah.
know, for me
It's a
to
big
just
step. It's
better.
a big step. And a
Hmm.
lot of people can't get there because they're stuck in blame, which is
Yes.
a nervous system response, right? It's totally normal to be in blame. But when you or someone else are feeling blame or feel blame, no one learns
Hmm.
because that literally there's science behind this. When you feel blame, it shuts down the frontal lobe, the learning part of your brain that can say, oh, well, that was them and they can't do this. They hurt me and I can't forgive them because yada, yada. No, you're not learning and they're not going to learn.
That's true.
So forgiving, like you said with your story, forgiving just for your own peace of mind, your own heart, your own destiny is powerful, powerful.
That's right. Amen to that. All right. And then the final gift is gift number 5. And this states, so for those who feel like trauma is like holding them back from pursuing their dreams, what advice would you give to them to just help start their journey from healing to an entrepreneurial success?
Hmm. So the first step is always education. But like I just said, if you're in blame, you're blaming your history, you're blaming the people who hurt you, you need to get out of blame. And usually that means taking accountability for your piece in that.
Mm,
So blaming victims, it's not saying, oh, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's saying taking accountability that that isn't hurting you anymore. Accountability means I am safe now and I can put that history in the back, in the way, way back, because it's no longer involved in my life and I can move forward.
yes.
The second step to that, and that involves forgiveness, again, of yourself, because you didn't know any better back then. You were young, you were dumb, you were, didn't have the whatever you have now. And now you do.
Right.
Sorry, I'm getting all preachy on you.
Oh, no, bring it, girl. Bring it.
uh, the second part after that would definitely be learning about your nervous system. And I have a free YouTube video on this. On YouTube, it's Dare to Heal. You can find this also on my website, Making Friends with Your Nervous System.
Okay.
It's how our brain jumps into avoidance and control, and how we go into anxiety or depression state because we are scared. This is a natural occurrence in our brain, nothing to feel shame, blame, guilt about.
Mm,
So that's the compassion that you talked about early when you introduced me. Bringing compassion to your reactions is learning that these reactions, these responses, these nasty things that we say or do are part of our nervous system, and we get to forgive ourselves because that's a normal human thing that we have. And it usually stems from our history. And again, not to blame our history. We're not blaming history. We're not blaming nobody. We're taking accountability that we know and can learn better now, and we can move forward now with what knowledge we have resources and access to. There's so much education out on the nervous system. You could just YouTube 101 nervous system, and I'm sure you'll find a lot of education. So
right.
drop it in. I have a 10-minute video. I'll probably put it in the comments once you post this so
That,
everyone has access to it.
that would be great. Also that the free gift on YouTube, so we can look at that.
Yeah.
That Dare to Heal. By all means, let us know about that. Such a blessing, and I appreciate you even sharing. And
Yes.
I'm sure so does the audience. So thank you. I am so very grateful to have had, oh my goodness, you guys, Monique Gomez here as our special guest. Monique, is there anything else that you would like to just tell the entrepreneurs or things about their journey, whatever, how to get in contact again with you, whatever you want to say?
Awesome. Yeah, I just want to say you are worthy. No matter what has happened in your history, you are worthy of love and deep connection and getting all your dreams met. And you have access to that. If you want to chat more, like I said, dtheal.org. I do free consults. They're linked somewhere in my contact page. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, I'm always here, Monique Gomez _ the coach here on Instagram, and I'd love to chat.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for being a blessing on my podcast, Faith Forward Fearlessly. I appreciate you. And we got to connect even more.
Yes. Let's have you on my podcast.
Let's do it.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
thank you so
All right.
much.
See you. Thanks. All right, you guys, stay on. I got to finish up now. So many blessings to have had her on the podcast. Oh my gosh, she is such a joy. You guys, I met her at my empowerment. What's it called? It's a women event that I went to. And so many blessings to have met her. She is just the best. She is as sweet as can be. So I'm so thankful to have her. Oh my gosh. So let's remember to follow and put to action. You guys know I'm all about action. Monique Gomez's wise suggestions. All right. But also here are my four giftful, tips and things like that I like to give, and actionable tips on trauma and resilience. So hopefully this will help you even more with what she was speaking about also. So gift number one for me is resilience as a choice, not a condition. All right. So many think that resilience is just something that people are born with, but in truth, it's a choice. All right. So every day that we face challenges and every day we just wake up with a choice to just like get up for the most part. It's about taking one small step after another with all of that. All right. And just trusting that your faith will guide you through all of that, because it will. Take it from me. I'm big on my faith, right? So, and I, not to impose for those who, believe in God or something higher, but scripture even tells us in Romans 5:3-4, we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, character, and hope. All right, that's Romans 5:3-4. When turning pain into purpose, just know that faith can transform the way that we approach our struggles. All right, through prayer, meditation, and this community support, we can find a new perspective by just doing these things. So I challenge you to just try them. It'll be a big help if you do. All right. Gift number two, entrepreneurship as a road to healing. So the entrepreneurial journey is not just about business, you guys. All right. It's about self-discovery, which is very important, right? So when we create something from nothing, we're tapping into like that divine purpose that God or the higher power has given us, right? So it also speaks on how like creating something with purpose can heal old wounds and foster just that community that you're within. So like your business, your art that you're going through, your service, they can all just be outlets, you guys, to healing and uplifting if you just simply tap into it. All right. Gift number three, transforming trauma into purposeful action. We always talk about turn things into action and start doing things. Don't just talk about it, be about it, right? Well, make it purposeful action while you're doing it. Because see, trauma often leaves us feeling powerless. I too go through it, even as an uplifter, all right? But one of the most empowering steps that we can take in turning the pain into action is simply just channeling it for your experiences into your entrepreneurial journey. And this can give like your business and your overall journey a deeper, meaningful impact all together. All right. Also, purpose-driven businesses or your journey, purpose-driven, it often just rationates with just like more people, simply because they're built on purpose. All right. Just like the stories, authenticity, it's always helpful. And then your actual challenges give you a unique perspective. All right. That can simply just connect you to others who simply have just like that sameness for the most part, and they might have experienced similar hardships. So very important to take on these different things that I'm speaking about. They will help you tremendously, trust me. Let me give you an example of that one. So I use like my journey of overcoming the workplace discrimination and like the personal struggles that I went through at the Good Old Boys Club in corporate world, to actually fuel my passion for mentoring today, and just empowering others. This is why I even do this, because I was there. And again, I still go through things, right? So it became like the foundation of my business, the one that I actually spoke about, I believe, like last week, because I have the 3 businesses, but the Hudson HR Extraordinaire one, where I'm the Uplifter, where I help entrepreneurs transform their lives with that clarity, confidence, and faith. All right. So that's just an example of that. And on to the last gift. Gift number 4, building a legacy from pain. Oh my goodness. Who doesn't need to know about this, right? Unfortunately, we go through so many different forms of pain, but trauma has a ripple effect. All right. It changes us. But it can also leave behind a legacy if you see the positive aspect of it all, of just strength and just resilience for others to follow. Just keeping that in mind. All right. So the choice that you make to rise from challenges to hardships can inspire those around you, right? And keep you inspired yourself. So even future generations will see this about you and want to be guided by you, and they'll trust you and they'll want to listen to you for those parts. You'll be their leader. And that is such a blessing, because we all need that mentor and that leader in our lives. Ongoing. Millionaires even need that. Trust and believe. All right. Just know that leaving a legacy, it doesn't always like mean creating a large scale of business. It could be like an impact that you make, for the most part, even on your family, or in your community, to your friends, or even just one person. That's all it takes. All right. What matters with all of this is the ripple effect of your healing. And it will come if you simply just allow it to do so. All right. So my other business, Rosemary's Heavenly Pound Cakes, is more than just a business, just so you know. And it's about like that taste of legacy when it comes to the whole trauma piece. That actually, with this, honors my Aunt Rose, who passed of cancer way over 6 years ago, taught me the lemon pound cake in her basement, all that whole story. But it just keeps the love that she poured into her baking going as well, right? And then her name. And so in that same way, your journey from like trauma could be to triumph. All right. So like, just think about that in positive ways, even though we have that trauma, and just think, you know what? This doesn't have to be trauma, it could really be that triumph. All right. And that you leave behind as a legacy of hope, faith, and perseverance. So just think about that. If you're getting any value, please put that in the chat. Simply just think of people in your life, okay, who will be inspired by your resilience. And that will just make you feel so much better when it comes to trauma. And know that every time that you get up and you do things that you want to do, everything else is being knocked down. That trauma is being knocked down because you're just pushing forward in it, right? And you're not just building your own strength, all right? You're showing others I can do this too, and how to rise too. So take it from me. Let the triumph just guide you for the most part, and that trauma to just be pushed aside, because you are worthy to triumph. All right, I'm doing it, you can do it too. And it's a very rewarding feeling. I know I feel that way. All right, time for the challenge, you guys. Those were all the gifts. Thank you so much for listening to them. The challenge today is, I want you to take one step towards your healing, not no one else's, yours, okay? Maybe it's journaling about your actual trauma, or finally sharing your story with a trusted friend, okay? Or launching that business idea that's been sitting but lighting you up on fire for years that you wanted to start. Just start it. That's actually starting to help you start that healing by starting a business like that, or starting some kind of goal. All right. So let today be the day that you actually start the healing. Let go of the past. Don't let your past define you, and start letting it fuel you instead. All right. I'm going to be reaching out to some of you guys, as I want you to reach out to me. I'll help you with this. I'm telling you, it's very doable. So, as I wrap up this episode, which I am so grateful that you have been a part of once again, and again, it's my 40th, you guys, 40th, all right, episode. I want you to remember this. You are worthy of healing. Know that. You are worthy of healing. Put healing in the chat if you can feel me, all right? You are worthy of success, and you are worthy of joy. Put joy in the chat if you can relate. Please do this, you guys. You are worthy. If no one's told you, I'm telling you right here today. All right? You're worthy. So, for those who are just battling thoughts of suicide or deep despair, know that your life is valuable beyond measure. It really is, you guys. You're not alone at all. And simply just reach out to someone, okay? There is no shame in seeking help. I want you to know that. I've been to different therapists and everything. No shame in my game, because I'm just growing to be better, because I want to be. And you too can as well, all right? So seek someone, again, that you trust. It could be family, friends, a counselor, or even send us a message. Send me a message, here at the Faith Forward Fearlessly podcast. I've been in HR for 20 plus years, so I know how to keep things personal. So you can definitely trust me with doing that. All right. Or on this Instagram page, if you want to just reach out and things like that. Just know though, that you are not alone in this battle. It's very important that you hear that. Okay. As a matter of fact, put battle in the chat if you heard me just say that. You are not alone in this battle. All right. So also, you guys, I have a huge announcement. So You guys, okay. Let me sit up for this. Also, you guys, myself, Jenée Hudson, the Uplifter, and a good friend of mine, Myhisha Myles, are finally, you guys, launching our community. And it is called Empowered and Crowned Women on a Mission to Inspire. Woo! I cannot wait, you guys. Listen, let me tell you something. We will be hosting our first session titled Unleash the Unstoppable Power Within. All right. And please join us live on Zoom October 1st of this year at 2 p.m. Eastern time and therefore 11 a.m. PST time. So that's Pacific Central time, as we dive deep into discovering your inner strength and purpose. All right. The link is in my bio for registration, or it will be posted within the caption of this live podcast once I put the information in there. Also, you can DM me directly. And just when you DM me, just put hashtag community so I know that you're trying to be a part of this on October 1st. I've been saying I was creating and going to start this new community, and I am doing it. We are starting it virtually, but it is going to be all around the world. Let me tell you, we're going to be able to fly in, see each other, and just have an amazing time. I cannot wait. And community, right? So also, there's also flyers and Instagram floating around already posted. So check those out as well. All right. So as always, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you guys for tuning into this 40th episode, must I say again, of the Faith Forward Fearlessly podcast. Again, don't forget to follow for ongoing inspiring content. And remember, faith is your greatest tool in this journey. Use it fiercely and use it just fearlessly, okay? Use it. Faith is everything, right? If this episode touched you, touched your heart, share it with others. Share it with someone who needs encouragement today, you guys. So many people won't say they need assistance, but please share it with someone who just knows and they just might need assistance, right? Until next time, have a blessed day and a very prosperous year on purpose. Thanks for joining. Bye.